Welcome to our program. On Straight Talk today, I'm pleased to have Dr. Felicia Townsend, the program director for the Hygieia Network and ISSA charity. And today, our focus is on the impact of the Hygieia Network and what is happening right now, and also what we can look for in the future as far as programming and opportunities. Felicia, welcome.
Oh, wow, Jeff. Thank you so much for having me back on the show. I'm so excited to be here.
So am I. We're going to talk about some good stuff. Hygieia, what a powerful program. And I know it's close to your heart, but I want to thank you for all you do
Oh,
with the
thank
Hygieia
you.
Network and,
Thank
and
you.
helping all those involved.
Yeah.
Felicia, you're making a measurable difference with the organization. So there's that. But can you tell us about your years with Hygieia and what you value the most about it?
You know what? I started with Hygieia in 2019. And, I started around the time when the show was in full gear. The preparation for the show was in full gear. So it was like October 2019. I had to jump right in, and I started immediately working on Hygieia's annual awards reception. And so it was very exciting. And so then all of a sudden, a few months later, the pandemic hit. We were thrust into this virtual world. And so we had to develop webinars. We had to shift our conferences to a virtual format. And so we also had a mentoring program that was already virtual. So we had to increase membership there. So it was a different time. And so as we got through all of this, I want to say that, I had the support, and I continue to have the support of our council and our committee members. When I started with Hygieia, Meredith Rubin was the council chair. And so I want to just give an analogy of building a house. So when I was working with Meredith, we were laying the foundation for Hygieia. Okay. And so it was a great time. And then, so when Meredith's tenure ended, Laura Craven and Linda Silverman came on board as the council co-chairs. So they continued to build on this house, that, so to speak, that we were building. And so then all of a sudden, we have two dynamic women, two new leaders for the council. We have Maureen Carroll and Kim Price. And so now they're putting the finishing touches on this house. So it's a wonderful group of women and men that I work with through Hygieia. We have a very strong council. We have a very strong committee. We have 80 plus volunteers. These folks are spread out across 8 committees, a council, an executive advisory board. They give of their time, their resources, and it's just a wonderful way for the industry to give back in Hygieia in this way. And I'm just so proud of the work that we're all doing to help further our mission.
Yeah, Felicia, I remember when I met you, it was at the ISSA office. You were just starting work, and I was in the office, and we sat down to talk about Hygieia, what you're going to do, and the magazines that I manage. And you're like, how can I use these? What can I do?
That, Jeff, and I think we were talking about Straight Talk, and here I am on Straight Talk. So that, I remember that very well. Yes, yes.
Yeah, it was a good day, and since then we've been picking up steam. So good story. Thanks for sharing that.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. What type of events and opportunities do you offer those who are involved with Hygieia?
Yes. Well, Jeff, we have several signature programs that we offer. One of our main programs is our networking and leadership conference. So this is where we bring together men and women from across the industry. They share their career journeys. We also have subject matter experts who cover, issues that are related to the topic that we're discussing and the theme for the conference. For example, on August 23rd in Portland, Oregon, we'll hold our conference at the Sheridan Portland Airport. And the theme is Workplace Allies, the power of having someone in your corner. So this conference actually is being sponsored by Main Text Inc. and American Paper Converting. We also cover various webinars that cover various topics that's relevant to our constituents. And also, very importantly, Jeff, that I'm really proud of Hygieia's mentoring program. This program has been around for several years, and it connects, professionals with leaders in the industry. So I encourage, ISSA members to get involved with Hygieia through our mentoring program. We also have a regional communities that's really growing in number, and folks can join and get involved in our online presence on LinkedIn, as well as our meet and greets that we have across the country. And also, recently we launched the Hygieia online learning portal. This is where we house all of our past webinars and all of our past conferences. We also house our DePaul University Career Ed Certificate Program. And this program is designed to help young professionals and even those mid-level and senior level professionals to kind of grow in their career. We cover different modules in this particular program: career planning and strategy, personal talent assessment, and crafting and communicating your brand. So all of these things, Jeff, are housed on the online portal. Now, I do want to mention, Jeff, that I would say maybe a few weeks ago, we launched our educational grant program. Hygieia, we are so excited because we believe in giving back to our members. And so one way to do that is through a grant that's valued at about $700. And so once you apply and you're accepted, it's a very competitive process. You would gain access to all of the programming on our online portal, as well as one in-person conference. And that conference would actually be the one that's taking place on August 23rd in Portland. So we're excited. It's just a great thing, Jeff.
How do you keep that straight? That's a lot of stuff.
Jeff, I tell you, it's so much with Hygieia. I don't even know how I'm even sitting here looking at you right now. I mean, I drink like 3 cups of coffee every morning. I say a prayer, and then I get to work.
All right. Yeah, you're doing great. Yeah, keeping all that organized. I imagine sometimes it's like herding cats, but you're doing it. You're making it happen.
Thank you, Jeff.
Let's talk about the data. I think people watching this would like to know how many are involved, where they're from, and also how do you see the Hygieia network growing beyond what it's done so far? What do you think?
You know what, Jeff, that's a great question. I love to lead with the data, so to speak. So I just want to say that we currently have 805 members who have joined Hygieia as a part of a campaign that we launched in 2021. I would say 17% of our members are international. So we have representation from Canada, Finland, France, Germany, Ghana, India, Ireland, Lebanon, South Africa, Philippines. I mean, it goes on and on. So we're actually on track to reach 1,000 Hygieia members by the end of 2023. So also, too, I want to say that from 2019 to 2023, we have presented 12 networking and leadership conferences, 15 webinars, okay? And then all of that, we secured 4,800 attendees. I mean, so can you imagine? We've come a very long way, Jeff. Since 2019, we have created 8 regional communities, 7 in the US, 1 in Canada. These folks are coming together, they're networking online, they're meeting in person in these informal settings, and it's a wonderful thing. Also, those regional communities have a presence on LinkedIn. They have their own group where folks can engage, they can share resources. So it's just a wonderful way that, we're bringing all of these members together from across the world, actually, to be a part of our mission to elevate women in the industry. So I'm really excited. I do want to touch on, how I see Hygieia continuing to grow. And there are various components to this, and I'm excited to talk about it. So, of course, we want to continue the growth of, increasing Hygieia's presence in the US. We're doing that. We're doing fantastic. Also, we want to increase the growth of Hygieia International. Right now, Canada makes up a very large percentage of our membership internationally. Hygieia, for example, will participate in the ISSA Canada show in June. Hygieia will have a panel discussion where we'll have women and men represented on the panel. Also, recently, Hygieia participated, we hosted actually a panel discussion at the ISSA Premier Show in Milan. So we are looking to increase our presence in Europe. So I do encourage everyone to stay tuned for that. So that is one growth area. A second growth area that I see for Hygieia, Jeff, is the continued growth of our sponsorships for Hygieia. Sandy Wolfram is doing a fantastic job. She serves as our Director of Development for ISSA Charities. And so it is her role to help in the efforts of securing sponsors. So currently we have 42 sponsors. Our sponsors, they see the value in our program. So not only do they give, their employees actually take advantage of the benefits that their sponsorship offers. So since 2019, Jeff, over 1,600 employees from our sponsor companies have participated in our conferences. Okay, that's a lot of sponsor participation. 200 of those sponsor employees have participated in our mentoring program. So that is a wonderful thing. And so now recently, we decided to offer the benefit to our sponsors of gaining access to our DePaul University Career Ed Certificate Program. So if you are a sponsor at a certain level, you'll gain so many free access passes, where your employees will gain so many access passes to the DePaul program. So it's just a wonderful thing that we're doing by giving back to our sponsors. Another area, Jeff, I know I talk a lot, but I'm going to continue on. I think you want me to do this. So male allyship is another critical area that we want to see growth in. So Hygieia is increasing the number of men who participate in Hygieia. I think there was initially a perception that Hygieia was only for women, but we do understand that the support of men is critical in the success of what we do. I do want to just pull a report that I saw from Bentley University Center for Women in Business, and they stated that male allies are men who associate with, cooperate with, and support women. Okay, so our goal is to bring on more allies. Hygieia even started a male ally committee, which is led by John Engel from Centos. And I mean, I sat in on their first meeting a couple weeks ago, and I mean, you have the who's who in the industry on this particular committee. So we are looking forward to the great work that they're going to produce that will help to shine light on all the great work that women are doing in the industry. One more thing, Jeff, and I think I'll let you ask me the next question. Frontline workers is another key area. We want to get in front of those BSCs. We want to be able to provide them with the quality programming that will help them in the work that they do. And so we actually started a frontline workers subcommittee. So this subcommittee will develop programming content. They'll also develop strategies to help recruit more frontline workers into the Hygieia community.
Wow. Okay. Sign me up.
Great. Thank you, Jeff.
Well, I'm part of the Hygieia Network just by doing this interview with you. So right?
That's right.
No, good stuff. So many things. Let's talk about ISSA being 100 years old now. At 2023, I think everyone knows that by now. We've been discussing our anniversary. And women in the industry have come a long way in 100 years. You look at a little over 100 years ago, women couldn't even vote.
Mm.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
How does Hygieia value that and recognize that?
You know, that's an interesting question. And I do want to say that, yes, since 100 years ago, ISSA in particular has done a fantastic job of, getting more women on its board, actually. And in terms of the industry in general, yeah, we see more women taking on these leadership roles. But I do want to just kind of go back to the data a little bit. There was a recent article that appeared in US News. It was a March 23 online version of it. And it talked about women held 31% of top executive positions across industries in 2021. This was just a 5-point increase from 2015, okay, which is, a little progress there. But despite making up 47% of the American workforce, women hold just 42% of all managerial positions. So these rates have, increased over time, but still we see that men still hold a disproportionate number of those roles, but Hygieia, we are helping in this effort. Hygieia serves as the voice of women in the industry, Jeff. So, we are here to provide those resources, that education, that networking, that mentoring opportunities for women from the C-suite all the way down to the frontline worker. So those 80 plus volunteers that I mentioned earlier, those folks serve as our ambassadors for Hygieia. They spread the word. They tell our story within their organizations. They also tell our story, to peers outside of the organization. So, so this is how Hygieia is playing a role in helping to advance more women leaders in the industry. It's through the support. It takes a village, and everyone is working in this effort. But from a public forum standpoint, I'm proud to say that, Hygieia does a fantastic job at celebrating women. And we do that at our annual awards reception, which takes place at the ISSA show North America, which will, of course, be in November in Vegas. So we, of course, have our Rising Star, Company of the Year, Member of the Year awards that we'll give out. We also, Jeff, we're adding 3 new awards. We have an International Member of the Year, Ally of the Year, and Mentor of the Year. So once again, these are just great ways that we celebrate individuals and companies in our industry. So it's just a great thing.
Yeah, it is. It is great. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking about what's happened over the years and the progress made. It's good to see and to be able to get that on tape here today.
Yes.
Let's talk about this, Felicia. And maybe you've covered this a bit, but challenges. If you were to pinpoint some specific challenges Hygieia has helped women in the industry deal with, what would some of those be?
Well, that's a good point. I jotted down a few things here. I think one challenge is, securing mentors. I think a lot of people don't even know how to go about doing it. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. I have a couple already. So I think women don't know how to make that connection. They don't know how to get in front of, they don't really know how to do it. So I will tell you this, Hygieia has a simple way to do it. We have a mentoring program that is housed on our own mentoring platform. So we tell folks all the time, join our mentoring program. You'll gain access to a database, okay, of professional leaders in the industry who you can reach out to and connect with. So, even though that's a challenge, Hygieia is coming back with, hey, we have a solution. And the solution is our mentoring program. It's free to join. It's open to everyone in the cleaning industry. And so we do encourage folks to, overcome that challenge by, using our platform to gain access to those mentors. Another area that I see a lot of folks, challenged with is this whole idea of, how do I network and how do I get in the room? How do I sit at the table? it's it's so much going on with that. So what Hygieia has done and continues to do, we create these programs, these environments, meet and greets, leadership and networking conferences. These are ways for our members to come together and network and get in front of that person that you're trying to connect with or learn from or get a job from, or who knows what you're trying to do. So the goal, of course, is to use those type of opportunities to get what you need from a networking standpoint, because a lot of people don't. It's like an art to networking. And I want to say something too. When we talk about networking, Jeff, at our last conference that we held at NILFISC, NILFISC was a sponsor of that in Minnesota. I had so many women come up to me and say, Felicia, I'm so happy to be here because I'm reconnecting with someone that I met at a previous conference. I mean, folks are starting book clubs and, and things of that nature. So it's just a wonderful way to do it. I mean, use Hygieia as that platform to get what you need. And so use our meet and greets. That's another way to do it. We have these meet and greets across the US, across Canada. These are places where people come together in a very informal setting to network and share ideas and resources and get to know each other. So Hygieia has it all. And so those are really the challenges: networking, mentoring, but Hygieia has the answer for that. We have our mentoring program and we have networking activities that our members can become involved in. And I will say, Jeff, you don't necessarily have to be a member of Hygieia to attend a conference, to attend a meet and greet. So I do want to clarify that. But we do encourage people to get involved with Hygieia and take advantage of all that we have to offer.
All good stuff, Felicia. But I'll say recently I talked to a young businesswoman who wants to be in the mentorship program. I think she's going to be. But she was like eager to be paired with someone who could help her. I just love that. Just these young entrepreneurial thinking women are like, they want to grow. And I don't know if it's a humble spirit or what, but to say, I want help, I need help, and get it. I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing, Jeff. I mean, it's a wonderful thing. And I tell people when they join on the platform, I think one important thing is not to get discouraged. If, someone doesn't respond to your request, it's really about putting it out there, finding out if that person wants to connect with you. And if it is a good match, the match will happen. But the platform is there. It's a strong mentoring program. And I just do encourage young professionals, older professionals to get involved.
Seasoned professionals.
That's it. Right. You know what? Exactly. Maybe we need to just rephrase that. Yes.
No, it's all good.
Young professionals, we do encourage, I'll say it again, Jeff, young professionals and seasoned professionals to get involved.
Exactly. We'll use that seasoned. We're all getting older, but understand. All right. So to wrap it up, Felicia, I know you're passionate about the Hygieia Network, the mission. What do you want those watching to do now? What's the next step for those who are not involved, perhaps?
Well, I do encourage you first. The first main step is to join Hygieia. Okay, so you can join Hygieia by visiting hygienanetwork.org /join. So when you join Hygieia, you'll gain access to all of our resources. You will gain access to our e-blast, our e-newsletter, any information about Hygieia, you will receive it. Also too, Jeff, I do encourage people to follow Hygieia, ISSA Hygieia Network's company page on LinkedIn. That is where we promote a lot of our programs. Well, actually, matter of fact, we promote all of our programs on the platform. It's just a good way to stay connected with what we're doing. And also another way that folks can get involved with Hygieia is just spreading the word about what we do. That's a good step. because once you start to talk about Hygieia, I mean, doors start to open and opportunities start to happen for all those who are involved. We also have 8 committees, as I mentioned, Jeff. You know, we are periodically we look for new volunteers. So if you have an interest in joining a committee, you can reach out to me, and then I can see if there's availability, and we can get you involved that way as well. And just spread the word internally at your organizations about the Hygieia network. So so those are just some of the ways that folks can get involved.
Fantastic. Well, Felicia, this has been great. Good information, important,
Yeah.
impactful. So we'll make sure everyone sees this and watch the Hygieia network get to what, 1,000?
Yeah, that's it. That's the goal by the end of 2023. So when you
All
talk
right.
to me in 2024, I better have over 1,000 folks in the database.
Well, if you don't, I'm going to hide.
Believe me, we're gonna reach that goal. Now I'm putting pressure on myself. But yeah, we're gonna reach it. Yeah.
Good work. Talk to you later.
Thank you.